So have you ever been bitten by a radioactive spider, done some figurative spandex, and dedicated your life to working out who the greatest superhero of all time is?
I can't say I have personally, but I can't say any of us have personally. But today we will don the figurative spandex and try and figure out who the greatest superhero is of all time.
Okay, so we are in the round of 16. We are joined by Ellie of Talk Comix and Jimsicle of You Have Issues for a round table with a
square table.
Yeah.
Rectangular, actually.
Hey, we like to change things up. We like to break the rules up a little bit.
Yeah. But, we take the rules from a fucking window. New rules.
But yeah, so we are expanding our horizons. We are bringing some new opinions into the mix because I think it could have got a little bit stale.
Definitely, yeah. So yeah.
Did you say a little bit stale, a little bit Dale?
Oh, there we go.
I thought you hated puns, eh?
That's your fault. You've got me started on that now. God damn it.
And we're 2 minutes in and we haven't talked about comics. Good. I can see this going well. I can see this going well.
Okay, then we'll dive straight into it. First pairing is Captain Britain versus Spider-Man. We'll dive straight into this. We're not going to do character explanations because we've done that. That's been done.
No, but I will say, before we start, I want to give an argument for Captain Britain.
Can we skip this?
No, Ellie, we cannot. Daniel, please continue.
Everyone with the drinking beer pose, of course.
It's really intimidating, and it's just like,
let's hear this.
No pressure.
Well,
look,
come on, Dan.
Captain Britain is, well, I would say he's underrated, but the fact is he's made it this far. No, he's a fantastic character. Like, he's one of those people, and I've said it before. He's one of those characters that you wouldn't think of. He doesn't crop up in your day-to-day. God, I don't even think he has a book out at the moment. Like,
he's on the cover of the Age of Ultron Avengers Assemble.
You called me. I was about to say that, but you got out before.
There we go. But yeah, he's one of these people that is handed to writers that they're like, oh, up-and-coming writers, new writers, writers that are fresh, writers that can do with this character what they can't do, say, with Spider-Man, right? Mm-hmm. They can take risks, and Captain Britain completely exemplifies that. Like, we have the secret agent stuff, we have the Omniverse stuff, like we have a series of really complex and interesting things, and a character that is full of risks, and a character that has been changed up and has great stories kind of throughout its run just for that reason of being unknown. So I just want to put that out there about Captain Britain.
I'm going to chip in a little bit with this Captain Britain support here. Now, I've read Paul Cornell's run on Captain Britain and MI13, particularly the Secret Invasion stuff, and I think Captain Britain is a solid character, and like you said, the risks, I do agree, are sort of something it gives. Because if like a writer is given Spider-Man, for instance, they've got the pressure of adhering to a certain agenda. But the thing is, Captain Britain, I've always seen as just awesome. Yeah, okay, many people would say he's like in the shadow of Captain America. Well, thick people would say that. But
yeah.
But I think he's a really solid character, and like you could do with a lot more kind of exposure. But the thing is, I do like Captain Britain, I do, but
listen,
when
guys,
you're putting him up against Spider-Man,
it's all very well and good.
I love your enthusiasm. I really do. And I would add, Chris Claremont has written him. You know, the guy who wrote the biggest-selling X-Men comic of all time. Alan Moore, one of the most famous writers. The guy I don't deny is a solid character. But let's move on. It's Spider-Man we're talking about, okay? And I don't even know where to begin. I do know where to begin with this. Actually, I do. Spider-Man has infiltrated society and culture underneath more than most superheroes have possibly done, okay? And based on the fact we're talking about depth of character, I don't think you can talk about any person who ever epitomizes and solidifies the old, underdog coming through and winning on top some of the time, being that he's dead currently. But in my
You're a bit too late if that's a spoiler.
but my point being here is that, as much as I indeed agree with both yours and your points, I do not see how you could compare the depth of character that has been produced by hundreds of comics.
I mean, I have zero to add to that. I fully agree with what you're saying about Spider-Man. Captain Britain may be a great character, but he has by no way had the cultural impact of worldwide cultural impact, or even impact on the comic book industry as Spider-Man. And
Look,
I don't think he's anywhere near.
If it's on cultural impact,
that's a different story.
Superman's out, so forget cultural impact.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like cultural impact. Like, yeah, this is the greatest character, and he has had huge cultural impact for a reason, right?
But I didn't point that. I said depth of character as well.
Yeah.
I did point that out. I appreciate the criteria that's meant to be on this show to get those characters through.
That's part of it. That's part of the. But that's what I'm saying. Like, the reason he's had such an impact is because he is an in-depth character, right? He is one of the first kind of underdog characters. Like, you think of that old Stanley Ditko stuff. You think of the metal things on him, the girders on him, and then pushing up. Like, that's the reason he's invincible.
And actually, that's physically true, because back in the 90s when the Clone Saga was going on, Spider-Man literally propped up most of Marvel, who actually went into some kind of what's it? Not consolidation's the word I'm looking for, but they actually the whole company.
That was. I mean, that was the time.
Okay.
Really? Really?
Hey. I mean,
have a beer, please.
I need it to keep up with these guys.
I mean, yeah, the 90s was a terrible time for Marvel. I mean, that was the time where they sold off all their film rights and they were just going down the pan. And yeah, Spider-Man was instrumental in saving them.
Okay.
Even though the Clone Saga wasn't that good, but the bottom line is that
the Clone Saga was
sales,
bad.
No, but the sales
I
were
liked the Clone Saga.
I think if you look back and read on it again, it's
I am
not
reading
as bad
it again.
as it
I
was
like
at the
it.
time.
Interesting thing, Clone Saga was my first ever experience of comic books. So how I'm still reading comic books to this day is beyond me.
I read the reprints of the.
Yes, the UK ones.
Yeah,
that's exactly what
I
I've
read
got.
those.
I've got them upstairs. We can sit there and read them.
Oh, we should, yes.
No, this is a studio.
Okay. So I think we're agreed. Spider-Man is through. Should we?
Spider-Man. So the next pairing is Nick Fury, Iceman. Again, I'm gonna throw this out there. Who's got something to say?
What is interesting about this is I have no idea where anyone is going on.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
Exactly the same.
I don't have a clue.
Well,
in fact, right now,
if you want to take it away.
I don't even know where I am right now. So I'll let you talk, and then I'll think.
I think the real.
You might persuade me, so that is that's on the table.
Okay. I think the main question before we continue this is which Nick Fury?
I think we may have had this conversation
because let's not forget there's three of them.
Yes.
I think what you've got to go with an amalgamation in the hope that they have common ground, right?
Okay. Well, look, I mean, original 616. I hate to say this, white Nick Fury.
Yes.
I'm
so PC. I hate to say this, but
white Nick Fury.
My girlfriend's black. I can do what I like.
Wow! Did you just throw the "I know someone black" comment?
I know. Oh, I'm embarrassed.
Just wait until we get on the lesbian characters, because I'm going to dive in there. Thanks, Mum.
Oh wow! If this goes in, we're all getting sued.
So what were you going to say about
it?
No.
Okay, look. Basically,
So Nick Fury, right?
Yeah, Nick Fury. No, the thing is, I've read a few copies of Nick Fury. Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., his original series. It was really good. He started out as a really good James Bond kind of character, but then, it was over the decades he became this real leader. Obviously, the real head of S.H.I.E.L.D. when people like the Avengers and everything were sort of accountable to them. And I think he's a really, really good leader, like the big war hero and everything like that. But I don't know a great deal about Iceman, but what I like Nick Fury's solid leadership skills that, a lot of people looked up to him. Like during Civil War, he was noticeably absent, and everyone, made sure everyone knew that Nick Fury's not here. We're kind of on our own here, especially when it comes down to S.H.I.E.L.D. So I appreciate Nick Fury as a really good sort of military leader in the Marvel Universe, and I think he's a really, really good character. How that compares to Iceman, who is basically part of a mutant team, you know, is debatable.
Can I say something for Iceman?
Of course.
Iceman is one of the most powerful X-Men there are.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is one of the highest graded.
He's an Omega.
He's an Omega level mutant. Okay.
I don't know what that means.
The guy.
Me neither.
It means he can fuck some shit up.
Yeah, that's straight. Damn straight. No, I mean, the point here is that he was a fundamental part of the original set of X-Men. So we're not even talking about he's an addition that came later. The guy is the core of what the X-Men were back in the day. And I feel that especially later on, although his character I don't think was developed so well in the early days, later on his character was developed immensely. And things, especially in like Onslaught, things started to become focused around what he can actually achieve. And I feel that you really got to see the strength of that character later on.
If I can just expand on that, because I completely agree, and I think it's important that you say which Nick Fury. This is a character that they have thought about, okay, we've got this, okay, well, we can sort of adapt him and change him for this. Iceman isn't that character. Iceman is a character that has evolved, right? Iceman is a character that starts at point A and he has been built upon and built upon and built upon. And you have this beautiful line of evolution, right? In terms of personality and also in terms of sheer power. You can see how his powers, especially recently in the Jason Aaron run and in the Uncanny X-Force stuff, we see what Iceman can do and how he has always been able to do it.
So what you mean is things like, okay, like I said, there was 3 Nick Furies, so you could put a Nick Fury in any universe and he's essentially the same kind of Nick Fury.
Right.
So, yeah, okay, I kind of see what you mean there, yeah.
Like, I really like the character of Nick Fury. I think he's great, especially the kind of 70s James Bond. And, I'm so, like, I'm just waiting for the right cash flow moment to get the new Fury Max, because that has me excited to read, and the first trade just came out. But
Was that Garth Ennis?
Yes, but, you know, with that being said, there is something about Nick Fury, for me, kind of loses it a bit in the fact that he has been the character where they've gone, we can just reboot him and we can change him for this and we can edit him there. Whereas...
And they rebooted him so easily and well. I was really impressed with how quickly and easily... I mean, to reboot Iceman, I'd like to see how that is viable. You'd have an uprising of X-Men fans who would be like, look, this guy's had this amount of evolution. You just can't do that to us. You just can't. We're not going to accept it. Whereas Nick Fury, people went... Yeah, all right, that's quite cool, because it's Samuel Jackson.
Well, so what I'd say here is, whilst Nick Fury in the wider world may have had a bigger cultural impact with things like the Avengers and stuff like that, Iceman, I think, is a better comic book character for myself, and especially in the Jason Aaron one at the moment. Yeah. So, Iceman going through?
Iceman.
There's nothing in this bottle. Okay, so that was the first episode with you guys here. There are many, many more to come. 3. 3 more to come, even. I call that many.
No, it's cool. Don't forget to check out these guys. These guys do great comic book shows. We got You Have Issues from Jimsicle and Talk Comix from Ellie, and all of that information, where you need to go, their website, all will be in the description below. So yeah, we're looking forward to many more weeks of this.
Indeed, and also do not forget, this is the very last chance you have to donate towards my head shaving. It happens on Friday. Quentin Quire will be sitting in this room.
Aye. So if you want to see that, make sure you donate. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to join us on Friday, as you said, to see some cool stuff. And we will see you next time.
My girlfriend's black, I can do what I like.